Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be looking into a game between Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana and Grandmaster Vincent Keymer from the grand finale of Division 3 of Julius Baer Generation Cup. Let's jump right into the game. Fabiano Caruana, starting with the white pieces, go for 1 e4. Vincent Keymer replies with c5, knight to f3, d6, bishop to b5 with check, knight to d7. Fabi goes for castling, a6, bishop to d3, knight on g to f6, rook to e1, e6, bishop to f1, b6, d4, c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, bishop to b7, f3, bishop to e7, c4. Vincent Keymer goes for castling, knight to c3, queen to c7, bishop to e3, rook on a to c8, rook to c1, queen to b8, queen to d2, bishop to d8, king to h1, bishop to c7, rook on e to d1, rook on f to e8, knight on d to e2, knight to e5, knight to g3, knight to g6, queen to f2, bishop to a8, bishop to d4, knight to e5, b4, h6, knight to a4, knight on e to d7, c5, d takes on c5, b takes on c5. So if you look at this position, after 25 moves into the game, match is still balanced. So the right continuation here for Vincent Keymer to play is to push the b5 pawn or to capture the c5 pawn with the b pawn or with the knight as well. These three continuation is pretty much fine for Vincent Keymer, but in the match he will play a blunder by playing bishop to f4. And after this move, it is Fabiano Caruana who is having an advantage of plus 1.2. The right continuation here for Fabiano Caruana to play is to capture this b6 pawn with his knight. And after this, he can retain his advantage of plus 1.5. And the best combination from here on will be knight takes on b6, rook to b1, e5, bishop to a1, bishop to c6, rook to e1, rook on e to d8, rook takes on b6, and queen to c7. And he can goggle up this pawn as well. So with this combination, Fabiano Caruana can increase his advantages to plus 1.9, and they run in the game from there as well. But in the game, Fabiano Caruana will miss this trick and play rook to b1 immediately, and matches back to balance again. Keymer continues with b5, knight to b6, knight takes on b6, c takes on b6, e5, bishop to c5, bishop takes on g3, h takes on g3. So the right continuation here for Vincent Keymer is to play is sacrifice his bishop for this pawn by taking bishop takes on e4. The idea is that if Vincent Keymer sacrifices his bishop for the pawn, then Fabi cannot accept the sacrifice and play f takes on e4. This will immediately lose the game for Fabiano Caruana with a fork by the knight on f6 by playing knight takes on e4, forking both the queen and the bishop. And this bishop is now doubly attacked by both the knight and the rook as well. How can you defend? There is no proper defense for this. Fabi can escape the queen to e3, but the knight will capture on c5, and this is game over for Fabiano Caruana. Vincent Keymer failed to spot this tactic and play rook to e6. This is another mistake, and Fabi's advantage increased to plus 1.7. And he continues with bishop to e3, rook to d6, rook takes on d6, queen takes on d6, a4, bishop to c6, a takes on b5, a takes on b5, bishop takes on b5, bishop takes on b5, rook takes on b5, queen to d3, b7, rook to b8, rook to b4, queen to a6, queen to c2, queen to d6, queen to c8 with check, king to h7, rook to b6, queen to d1 with check, king to h2, knight to d7, and rook to b5. And it was in this position after 43 moves into the game. Vincent Keymer ran out of moves and got flagged by Fabiano Caruana. And Fabiano Caruana ended up winning the grand finale of Division 3 of Julius Baer Generation Cup. Why Vincent Keymer ran out of moves is that there is no good continuation here for Vincent Keymer. For example, if Keymer decided to continue the game by playing queen to d3, keeping an eye on this knight, then Fabi will play rook to d5, preventing the queen from defending this knight and attacking the knight twice. And there is no defense for the knight now. Keymer has to save the queen by playing queen to a6, and after that, queen takes on d7, and the game is over for Vincent Keymer. So because of that, Vincent Keymer ran out of moves after rook to b5.